This is Dale Maharidge. Today, I'm going to tell you about the bane of all hobos, the bull. This is what the railroad policemen are known as to hobos. Now, if you saw the movie Emperor of the North Pole, if you're a hobo fan, you've seen that movie. It's pretty much malarkey. The engineer on a train does not really care about the hobos. It's the railroad bull you have to worry about when you're a hobo. The bulls don't ride the trains. They check out the situation in the yards or where the trains stop. Now, these are really rare pictures. I don't think I've ever seen pictures of a bull in action before or since Michael took these that day in 1983. What happened was I was walking down the tracks and I looked up and I saw Michael talking to somebody. What the heck's going on? So I started walking towards Michael and this guy. It turns out it was the bull. And Michael thinks fast on his feet. It's one reason I love working with him. He said, "We're doing a story on railroad security." And started taking pictures, and the bull just kind of said, okay, started hamming for us. Up to this point, we'd run into bulls in various situations all over the western United States. Some were friendly, like Roger, the bull in Klamath Falls, Oregon, K Falls. If you ever rode the rails back in the 70s or 80s, you probably ran into Roger, and he was a good guy. Most of the bulls were pretty rough. Now, we got lucky. We never got arrested in all the times we traveled. Some of my friends have been arrested, and most recently, William T. Volman, the writer, told me he got busted in Sparks, Nevada. It's always been known as a hot yard. He didn't make it out of that one. Even if you're a good hobo, you're going to get busted by the bull once in a while. So we watched this guy, forget his name, as he worked the train, ham-dogging for the camera. And he was really looking very hard to find a hobo. He wanted to show us just how good of a bull he was. And he came across this poor fella. So the bull kicked him off the train. He'd done a job, and we were showing him in action. Here he is smiling. And there's the hobo slinking off. Now, we were lucky. We never went to jail. Usually they just tell you to get the heck out of the yard, and you leave. Some railroads have a reputation of being worse than others. There's an old country song that talks about the mean old Santa Fe, and oh boy, did we hear stories about the Santa Fe. We never rode the Santa Fe, and all the time we were on the rails. The word was stay off that train. The Burlington and the Great Northern, they had good reputations. The old Western Pacific was too small to really mess with you. There were bulls on the WP, but they didn't give us too much trouble. All those old, smaller railroads were much more sympathetic to hobos. It's a lot harder to ride today. You can still ride, but the bulls are really watching a lot of the yards now. And if you're going to go out there, I advise you to do a lot of research so you don't end up in jail. Even hobos can go to the library and use the internet today to scope things out online. There's many websites that'll help you out.